Dating is shockingly uncomplicated. You just have Stockholm syndrome when it comes to women. Here's what the fuck I mean by that. Basically, Stockholm syndrome is when your captor takes you and you fall in love with them. This happened all the time to people who would get abducted, who would get kidnapped, they would get stolen, and then they would lose their soul, they would lose their life that they knew, they would lose all their loved ones, everything that supported them, and they would fall in love with their captor. They would cling to life, they would cling to anything that would give them any sort of stability in life. This is something similar that happened to me recently in regards to money, moving from Manhattan to Brickell in Miami 2 days ago. And what I've realized happens to a lot of guys when it comes to dating, relationships, women, all that stuff. Here's what I mean. For those of you who don't know me, I am a dating coach, essentially. But I used to not get laid after college. Well, during college I would get laid occasionally. Had a girl I was seeing after college. I went through maybe 6 years where I got laid probably 3 times. I think maybe 4 or 5 years where I got laid 3 times. After that, I started doing cold approach a ton, started getting laid, started figuring it out, started getting laid more, and then I started helping other guys get laid, get girlfriends, get relationships, all that stuff. But what made me think of this Stockholm syndrome thing was I was watching this video of my favorite Chinese history teacher, and he was just saying how people really cling to anything that gives them stability. It makes them feel like they have stability, and they're unwilling to lose it in order to gain, in order to win. And it made me sort of realize that I was doing this in regards to money recently. I was sort of playing it really safe. My business had hit a good point where I was making good money. Things were chill, but I wasn't really trying to win. It was I was comfortable, but I wasn't really thinking how can I take it further? How can I do more with this? How can I grow? How can I be better? How can I really win? Not how can I just be comfortable and survive, but how can I win? How can I stop clinging to just the comfort? Because I was comfortable, still am comfortable, but there's one decision that I had to make recently. My friend got this really sick spot in Brickell that I'm sitting at right now. I have behind this camera is a view of Brickell. I can see South Beach, those bridges. I can see Brickell Key, and I'm pretty high up. I can see over all the buildings, and it's a pretty fucking sick view. I wonder if I should just turn the camera here. I know some stuff's gonna get unplugged, but maybe you guys can see it. Anyway, I think you can see it. So yeah, it's pretty sick out there. This spot is obviously more than my spot in Manhattan, where I have 2 roommates, a bathroom. It's not a bad spot, but this spot, it obviously costs more. There's a lot more space, there's more bedrooms, the view is absurd. But my friend was here, and he was looking for someone to move in with him, and he was asking me if I wanted to. And then my other friend, who lives in the penthouse up here, I was on the phone with him, and I was telling him, I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can pay rent in Manhattan and Brickell at the same damn time. The 2 of the most expensive places on earth simultaneously. And then he proceeded to tell me, you have to stop thinking like a broke person. You have to stop thinking you have to get out of this broke mindset. And I was like, you're right. I can pretty much print money, make money whenever I want. I'm lucky enough to be in a position where all it takes is I have the knowledge, I have the skills, and I have the audience, all that stuff, where I can pretty much make as much money as I want whenever I want. I have access to a lot of resources, stuff like that. I was just clinging on for dear life, Stockholm syndrome, to my money, where wasn't playing to win. I wasn't thinking, how can I take my business to like, 100K, 200K, 300K a month. I was thinking more along the lines of, how can I hold on to what I have for dear life, and just live in, my little spot here, and just be cold in New York for the winter or whatever, you know. And then it got me thinking a little bit how guys do that with their dating lives as well. A lot of guys will, they'll give up on their dreams, ambitions, hopes, desires, and basically settle and cling to the one girl that will tolerate them. Maybe she's okay, but she's not like their dream girl. It's not their dream situation, or they're dating like different beautiful girls who are smart, who are contributing to their lives, who are pushing them and teaching them and helping them grow and become, the person that they want to be. Instead, they will settle. They'll give up on their soul and life to maintain what they have. Instead of playing to win and really go for what they want, they'll settle. They'll throw away their soul, their hopes and dreams, and get stuck with, maybe she's okay, but like a subpar girl. Or they'll just accept defeat, and they'll just accept, like, maybe their dating apps aren't working. They're too scared to do cold approach. They don't have any friends, and they'll just give up. They'll cling to their comfort, their mediocrity, perhaps. So this is just a quick video on don't be that guy. Let it go. Let go of your comfort. Let go of your money. Let go of the girl who's potentially making your life worse, or maybe let go of that one relationship where you're chasing and chasing and chasing, and she doesn't want anything to do with you, but you're still chasing and just being a fucking crazy person because you don't have other options. You don't know how to meet women. You don't know how to make money. You don't know how to whatever it is. Let it go. Play to win. Don't play to avoid losing, like I was, where I was like trying to conserve what I had, avoiding paying rent in two places, but I know that I can make money. Play to win. Go for what you want. How can you get to the next level? Ask yourself that question, and then let it go and go for what you really want. Recapture your soul, recapture your ambitions, hopes, and desires, and go for it. Play to win.